Hey guys, it's Legonator here from Legonator Comics and more. And today I'm on the Super Gurus podcast and I'm back with Finn.
Hi. Sorry about me being away last week. I'm sure Mike did a great job. But I'm back again.
Yep, Finn's back and today we will be discussing some comic book news. Plus we'll be discussing the lamest superheroes and villains. They're all pretty lame. We'll be discussing them all. Okay, let's jump straight into the podcast.
Okay, so first up news.
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, so I'll kick things off straight up with some Ubisoft game news.
Okay.
So Ubisoft are known for making sort of Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, those sort of games. Far Cry, yeah. They are developing a Netflix series.
Oh, cool. What's it about?
Well, it doesn't say. It just says Ubisoft are developing a Netflix series. It doesn't specifically say which series it is.
What would you like to see?
I think an Assassin's Creed would actually work well, even though they are making a movie about it. We've discussed this trailer before.
Assassin's Creed. Maybe like if the movie's really popular, they'll make a Assassin's Creed TV show.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Is it production or has it started filming?
It says developing.
Oh, okay, so it could be like an Assassin's Creed, and if Assassin's Creed goes
says
well,
here, it's learned Ubisoft, creator of popular Assassin's Creed video games and upcoming movie, is in talks to develop a Netflix series. So it's in the hypothetical stage at the moment, but it quite possibly could be a reality.
Cool. That's pretty cool. I've got another pre-production thing.
Yeah.
So Aquaman is set to start in production in Australia later this month.
Okay. That's cool.
Aquaman's coming to Australia.
Nice.
Probably because there's maybe they'll use the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Good scenery and stuff.
Yeah. Well, not really much there. I'm pretty pumped for the Aquaman movie though.
I think he's an underrated hero, and I think this movie will really boost him a bit.
Yeah. Sort of like what happened to Ant-Man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Finn, do you have some news you want to talk about?
Another video game news. There is possibly an Guardians of the Galaxy video game gonna be released.
To coincide with the movie?
I don't know whether it might be in relation to the movie, but it's not going to be in the same sort of tone as the movie.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy N°1 got a reputation for being a light-hearted sort of Ant-Man style movie. It wasn't really dark, really.
Yeah.
Unlike some the other Marvel movies. They say this video game's going to reflect what the Guardians of the Galaxy comics are more like, especially back in 2008, 2012.
Okay.
Where they were very dark. So that could be a good sort of contrast, maybe.
Yeah, I really hope that the game is open world, you just get to you can do your missions, but then you just get to explore the galaxy.
Those are my favorite sort of games. I don't really like the really tightly structured games.
The linear storytelling.
Yeah, linear sort of, you confined to one sort of path. Bit like DC Legends, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you want to... I've got another piece of news.
Yeah?
So, here is Finn. Did you watch Young Justice a couple of years ago?
This is about season 3, isn't it?
Yes, I am so pumped. I watched Young Justice so much as a little boy. Young Justice was the best animated show with superheroes. It was so cool, and it ended on a cliffhanger. But now it's coming back. How awesome
I have
is
to
that?
admit, I didn't watch many episodes, but it was very good. The ones I did watch, I never really fully jumped on the train, but it was still very, very good and well written.
Yeah, it's amazing, Finn. You should definitely watch it before season 3 comes out.
Okay, then I'll make that a priority. Do you know if it's on any streaming services like Netflix?
I think it's on Netflix. I know it's not on Australian Netflix, but I know it's on American, so who knows? It might be on New Zealand Netflix.
Okay, well, got to check that out then.
Yeah, well, I'm super pumped for that. I'm definitely looking forward to what's going to happen. They left it on a cliffhanger in season 2. I won't tell you what the cliffhanger is so you can see it, but maybe we'll do like a Young Justice episode when season 3 comes out.
Okay then. Well, maybe we could watch like the first episode or something and do what we think about it.
Yeah, we could, like, maybe we can watch like seasons 1 and 2 and do like a breakdown.
Or like a plot overview. We could do
Yeah.
like a Young Justice episode where we do like an overview of season 1, season 2, and we
Yeah.
do a review of episode 1, season 3.
Look forward to that, guys. They'll probably happen in the future when it comes out. The series has already begun production, meaning who knows, it might come out like as early as next year.
Okay, so maybe same time as sort of the Old Man Logan movies, maybe? No, actually probably not.
Oh, animation does take a while, so who knows?
It depends. We'll see.
Yeah.
There'll be more news in due course.
Yeah. So do you have any news, Finn?
Doctor Strange is still at number 1 in the box office, the movie.
Yep.
He is outperforming Ant-Man and Thor: The Dark World now.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie.
Me too. We did a review of it. You guys can check it out. It's on the channel.
Yeah, there's 2 of them, I think. Yeah, so he's still at number 1 spot in the box office. He's going very well.
Do you think it's gonna hit $1 billion?
I sure hope so.
Yeah, well, I know for a fact that Winter Soldier only hit like nearly 800 million, and Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy all hit around 700 million. So who knows? It could hit $1 billion, or it could just hit, 800 million, 900 million.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So there's still quite a bit to go.
Definitely. Only just came out like the past week in the US.
Yeah. Okay. So
Super cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
do you have any more news?
Yeah, I've actually got a segue. So I've got some Marvel news. Finn, you know the classic Russo brothers?
Yeah, I do.
Well, they let out like a picture on their social media that I saw that's like, you just see them and they're standing in a massive staircase that sort of looks like it's in a mansion, and they're saying scouting. So I'm thinking, does that mean that Avengers Mansion's going to be in Avengers Infinity War?
Maybe. That would be cool.
You know what the Avengers Mansion is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be really cool. Like, you need to see the photo. The mansion just looks amazing.
Maybe for some of the viewers that don't really know what the Avengers Mansion is, maybe you could give a bit of a brief overview about it?
Sure. Well, in the comics, the Avengers sort of have like 2 bases. They've either got the Avengers Tower or the Avengers Mansion. The Avengers Mansion's their more like classic base from the classic Avengers. It's sort of just somewhere where they can all just hang out, sleep there, and have all their stuff parked.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So Finn, what was that news you were going to say before?
More Marvel.
Okay.
This is going to be, it's about Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, so there's going to be a Marvel Cloak and Dagger TV series that's going to premiere in 2018.
Okay.
And I don't know from the moment whether it's going to be live action or animated, but
I'd assume live action, probably.
From the pictures I'm seeing, I think maybe animated, but it's going to be aimed at young adults for ABC's Freeform network.
So maybe animated, yeah, that like Young Justice animation.
Maybe, yeah. So
more darker animation.
I don't know. I think a live action would be pretty cool, but
yeah, me too. So for anyone who doesn't know what Cloak and Dagger is, see Cloak and Dagger, there's 2 sort of heroes in the Marvel universe. Cloak can teleport, and Dagger sort of just has light daggers out of her hands or something.
They're sort of a really good partnership. They featured prominently in the first Civil War event. Yeah,
they do. I've got another piece of news. So this is just a rumor, so don't take it for fact, but it's a pretty big rumor. It's that the X-Men universe may be considering a soft reboot. So there's rumors that Bryan Singer is leaving the X-Men. Of course, we know that Tim Miller departed Deadpool. So people are thinking, and it's been maybe confirmed, that the X-Men universe might be doing a reboot after Old Man Logan.
I would have to think that they would do a reboot.
The
it's only sort
continuity's
of
a mess.
I think, yeah, and then maybe they could also prepare it for some sort of merger with Marvel in Phase 4, possibly. If, small crossover events, not massive things, but...
There'd have to be some collaboration between the two studios.
I think that's what they might be aiming towards. I'm not sure, but...
We know that in Doctor Strange, he introduced the multiverse, so maybe, like, X-Men multiverse?
Yeah, definitely. The Avengers could possibly go into the multiverse and discover this X-Men universe.
Yeah, so this is interesting because it means that we know that Hugh Jackman, this is his last run as a Wolverine in Old Man Logan, and after the whole Deadpool shenanigan, maybe this could be a good idea. Maybe it'd be like a good idea to like reboot the X-Men, put some new creative minds together, start anew, because the universe has been going for almost 20 years now.
Yeah, definitely. It would be a very good idea. Yeah.
It's interesting. I do like the X-Men universe, but continuity's a mess, and it could be fixed.
Definitely. I think there's definitely some things that they could do differently.
Yeah. So, Finn, do you have any more news before I give you my last piece of news?
No, that's all from me, I think.
Okay, well, the last piece of news is this week a trailer was released called Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. So the trailer got released. I've got some thoughts about it. Finn's got some thoughts about it. Let's chat about it quickly. Finn, what were your thoughts on this trailer?
Well, firstly, my thoughts on the director. I can't remember his name, but it was the same director as The Fifth Element. The Fifth Element was a sci-fi fantasy film released God knows how many years ago. It was utter trash.
Okay.
It was so bad. I literally stopped watching after 5 minutes.
So you don't like the director at all?
I'm not saying that the director is bad, but I mean, if his previous fantasy adventures are anything to go by, then I'd be a bit skeptical about the film.
Yeah, sometimes directors are just handed a bad script, though.
Fair enough. Looking at what was happening in the trailer, it was very convoluted.
You weren't really sure what was going on.
It looked a bit messy. It looked very CGI and very
expensive.
I was just wondering whether that may tip over something, and something else important might have to give for those CGI effects.
Yeah.
So
you didn't really like the trailer?
No, I don't either plan on seeing it or plan on following any of the future news. If it turns out to be a really good film, then I possibly might go down and watch it, but
I'm willing to give it a chance. Like, I like the actors, I liked the soundtrack, and I thought the CGI did look pretty cool. I'm still not sure what the story is, but Valerian, it's based off like a book, and that book was basically the start of like sci-fi as we know it today. Like classic sci-fi stories such as Star Wars, Star Trek, all take inspiration from that book. So I'm willing to give it a shot. Okay,
fair enough. That I haven't heard that piece of background before. That might, I don't know. I'll see.
Yeah.
It was only a teaser trailer, so
What would you give it on our famous scale of F to A++?
From what I've just seen and from my past experiences, or just from what I've seen?
Just from what you've seen.
C.
Yeah, I think I'd give it probably a C too, yeah.
It has a bit of improvement to come, yeah.
Definitely. Well, then that's it for our news segment for this week. why don't we jump straight into our main content for this week, which is the lamest superheroes and villains. So me and Finn, we've searched the web for the lamest superheroes and villains we can find in DC and Marvel history, and let's just say there are a lot of lame ones.
There is some definitely absolutely atrocious ones out there.
I've got a Marvel mutant, so it came out in the comic of Nixio the Clown versus X-Men 1 in 1983, and his name is Ice Cream. Do you want to know what Finn, can you guess what Ice Cream's power is?
He's like sort of like Iceman, but with ice cream.
Exactly. Ice Cream is a mutant who has an unstable molecular refrigeration system, their words, and basically he can turn himself into any flavour of ice cream. It lasted one issue.
Gee, that's painful.
What is the point of this? Like, how does this help anyone? You're just turning into ice cream. It's not, ice cream isn't hard. Ice cream, people just eat you.
Yeah, fair enough. That's really lame.
Yeah, what were they thinking? He is so useless.
Okay. My next one is a Marvel character as well.
Okay.
Might be slightly more useful. Her name is Squirrel Girl.
Oh, Squirrel Girl. I know her.
She's probably one of the more well-known heroes on this list.
Yeah.
She can talk to squirrels.
Yep.
And that's it.
So, Squirrel Girl, she has been getting a bit of buzz lately, as you know. She's got her own series. She's actually a bit popular right now. And I agree. She just seems a bit pointless. Like, she can talk to squirrels. That's such a small little margin of things that you can talk to.
I think, but apparently, in continuity, in not like full Earth 616 continuity, but in other continuities, she has defeated Thanos and Doctor Doom by herself.
Okay. That's a bit out there.
I don't know. Yeah.
Definitely, she doesn't sound that useful at all.
Definitely.
So I've got another hero who is not that useful, and he sort of takes lame into the literal meaning. This is Arm Fall Off Boy. So he was released in Secret Origins Volume 2, 46 by DC. So Arm Fall Off Boy, he tried to enlist for the Legion of Superheroes when he was rejected, and his power is that he can detach his limbs from his body. And he got this power from an unstable gravity metal called Element 152. So this is so useless. All you do is pull your arm off and then whack people with it. Like, it'd just be easier to whack people with your arms on.
That's really pointless and lame.
Yeah.
I don't see how DC could have any use for that person. They'd probably just put them in as a filler.
Yeah, what happens if someone pulls your arms and legs off? Then how are you supposed to put it back on?
You're useless.
Yeah, you just have to wait till someone else comes along and puts them back on for you.
Gee, who would do that?
I don't know. I think I'd just leave him on the ground. But the thing is, Arm Fall Off Boy, he was released all the way back in 1989, but then he's had another reincarnation in the next DC reboot, and then he got reincarnated again. So he's had 3 different versions of himself across the multiverse.
Why do they even bother?
He just sounds so pointless.
Gee, I pity DC. I actually do. I pity the writer that actually came up with him.
Why would you create Arm Fall Off Boy? So Finn, who's next?
Okay, this character was released by Marvel in the 80s.
Okay.
During the height of Saturday Night Disco.
Okay.
Her name is Dazzler, and she literally dresses up on Saturday night as a disco goer and fights crime.
She's an X-Men, right?
Yeah, she's an X-Man.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
She can literally, I think her only real power is she can produce, fireworks and light from her hands.
I'm pretty sure that it's actually that she turns sound waves into flashy lights.
Yeah, or something like that. She, flashy lights from her hands or whatever.
Seems really pointless.
And I think, again, another, a common theme with these is Marvel were trying to jump on the bandwagon of something else, and it just did not work.
Yeah, I don't think that you can mix like disco and superheroes and get like the best combination.
I don't think that worked at all well.
Yeah, not at all. Now, I've got another Marvel hero, and I actually sort of like the concept of this guy. His name is ForgetMeNot. He came out in X-Men Legacy 300, and guess what year? 2014. So this is a recent hero. So
not one of the golden age 90s.
Yeah, you sort of forgive the 90s, 80s, 70s ones because they're a bit more crazy, and comics were more crazy, but comics were more serious with Forget-Me-Not's time. So his power is that he's been on the X-Men for years, okay? He's been there since the very start, but his mutant power is to make people forget him. So his only power is that everyone who he ever meets forgets him. Professor X even had to put a psychic reminder in his mind so that every hour he remembers that Forget-Me-Not even exists.
Gee, what does he do?
I don't know. I think he like just deals with like guns and stuff and just helps the X-Men out, and no one even remembers he's there. So he was there in the original time when they fought Magneto and the Brotherhood of Mutants, but just no one remembers him.
Okay.
How crazy is that?
Interesting and crazy.
Yeah, I sort of like the concept because it's like there's been an X-Men here the whole time, just no one knows.
Maybe they could... I think this is probably one of the better superheroes on our list, actually.
It's more creative.
I think that Marvel could probably explore him a bit more if they wanted to.
Maybe like a story.
Maybe,
like a limited run. Just a funny run.
Just see how it goes.
Yeah. He's sort of like... There's like another Marvel hero I know who like has powers, but he made the whole world forget him or something like that. I can't remember what he's called, but I know that he's like a bigger Marvel hero. So Finn,
okay,
what's your next one?
The next guy, he's from the Legion of Superheroes. He's called Matter Eating Lad.
Yes, I've got Matter Eating Lad too.
This guy can eat anything, like any type of matter.
Yeah, I've got some more info on it too. So he came out in Adventure Comics 303, and he is an alien from the planet Bismol. And you're right, he can just eat anything, which is actually pretty useful when you think about it.
It is, but it's a bit lame as well.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of eating it, could you
dispose of
I think
it?
that'd be a bit Firestormish. Like convert it into other forms of matter or something.
Yeah, but I guess he has a purpose. Like he can eat through a bar and break someone out of a cell, or if Superman's there, he can eat some kryptonite to save him, or something like that. But
I don't know.
It's just a bit pointless.
It is. I think it's a bit.
And does he put on weight, do you think, from eating all that stuff?
From the pictures I've seen, he doesn't look very fat.
So, but where's it all going?
I don't know. The next guy I'm going to talk about, though, is very fat.
Sure, list him off now.
He's called Bouncing Boy. He's another Legion of Superheroes member.
Yeah, Legion of Superheroes have got some real mentions today. Arm Fully Off Boy was on there. We've got Matter Eating Lad, and now we've got Bouncing Boy. So, list him off. What does he do?
Basically, he can inflate himself like a ball and bounce.
Okay, that sounds
sort
a bit
of like
pointless.
you know in Harry Potter 3 how Harry turns his aunt into that balloon thing and she floats off into the sky.
Yeah.
Sort of like that.
Yeah, just I sort of see a point for that, but what if someone just bounces you away?
Yeah, precisely.
So they all just seem to have like little powers that just aren't very useful, and I can't see being helpful as a superhero.
Yeah, precisely. I think.
Well, I've got some villains, and these villains are also not useful as a villain. So, Finn, this one's just going to blow your mind. 10-Eyed Man. So he came out in Batman 226, 1970. So he was a soldier who got caught in a terrible accident that he blamed on Batman, when he was then blinded, and a doctor redirected his optic nerves to his fingers, giving him 10 eyes on his fingers. How crazy is that? So there's a classic panel of Batman fighting him, and he's like, oh no, I'm 10-eyed man and I'm gonna rob a bank, and then Batman throws a cactus at him and he has to catch it before it hits him. So I just think, what was Dixie thinking? Like, you can't redirect optic nerves to your fingers. It just doesn't work.
No, I think that they're trying to be smart in science a bit, but
yeah, it's just this so
that does
weird.
not work at all.
Like, he's just got eyes on his fingers. Like, he can't do anything then. Like, why would you create this supervillain?
I would be more mad at the scientist.
Yeah,
the
me
doctor,
too.
Rather than rather than Batman.
Yeah, like, redirect if you can redirect optic nerves to your fingers, something tells me you can, like, redirect them to, like, robotic eyes or something.
I think so. Yeah. What's the point? Oh my gosh.
He is so useless. Now, I've just got one last one that I just want to say quickly, because he is also useless.
Yeah.
So, Finn, how do you think you will combat the fastest man alive, the Flash?
I don't know. May either be someone equally as fast, or have some way of slowing the Flash down.
Well, this is how Turtleman did it. He became so slow that his slowness counteracted the Flash's fastness. I know that makes no sense. I know that's stupid, and that's the point.
What? He must, like, tap into some, like, anti-speed force or something.
So, Turtleman, Showcase 4, 1956. Turtleman is one of Barry Allen's original villains. His power is that he is so slow that he counteracts the Flash's speed, and he idolizes the Turtle, who is actually one of Jay Garrick's villains. So there's not just been one Turtleman, there's been two Turtlemans. Like,
oh my
how
gosh.
pointless is this guy? You can't counteract super speed with super slowness.
What? Unless he, like, emits some sort of, like, aura of, like, slowness, like in the Flash TV show.
I don't think he does that.
Well, because in the Flash TV show, there's a guy called the Turtle, but instead of actually being really slow, what he does is he can like produce a field around him that slows down sort of speed.
Okay.
And he moves just as fast in the normal speed as in the slow speed, but everyone else is way slower.
Yeah. Well, that just sounds like they've gotten the Turtle and they've just made him better.
Yeah, I think if he was like that, I think he would be a bit better.
Yeah, but he just sounds so pointless. Like, he robbed a bank, and then it says that he then walked off and the Flash couldn't catch him, because whenever the Flash ran up to him, he would, like, push the Turtle forwards, and then he could never catch him. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
That is really dodgy. Okay.
What's your last one?
I've got two more.
Okay, let's hear them.
The first one's an XMen.
Okay.
I can't remember whether she's boy or girl, but she's called Jin Genie.
Jin Genie. Okay.
And she pretty much produces seismic shocks.
Okay.
Relative to her blood alcohol content.
What? What? When was she released? Do you know?
I don't know, but pretty much so. The more she is drunk, the bigger the seismic shocks that she produces are.
Well, that just seems pointless, because wouldn't you be like, if you were really drunk, then you wouldn't, like, have, like, cognitive ability to, like, you'd just be, you know, all bounced, like, all knocked out, you know, and really
That's the point.
unresponsive.
That's the point.
So she's no point. Like, if she's really drunk, she can't do anything.
Hold on, I'll see if I can find when she was made.
Surely, like, 1960, surely.
Jin Genie was already a well-established hero.
A hero.
Was a mutant member of the X-Statics, who was killed very early in her career by a helicopter fire.
Oh, I thought it would have been by, like, excessive alcoholism.
She appears in 15 issues.
15 issues?
From XForce number 116.
Okay. So it sounds like 15 issues. I think that might be, like, the longest appearance on our list, apart from Matter Eating Lad.
Yeah. Well, so it says here major story arcs. There's only one of them.
Oh, okay.
Her first shown mission with the group is to North Africa. They battle a drug-addled tribesmen who are attempting to overthrow the local government. During the mission, Jeannie's teammate Sluck dies in a tank explosion. Jeannie herself gets a low performance rating as her alcohol mixing produces dangerous tremors. Later at home, she gets performance anxiety. Plasm uses his powers to help calm her down. She is also shown worrying about her skin and how it would look for TV.
What?
Death. XForce's main organized coach arrives for a mission that would gain a lot of publicity, or so he says. The manufactured boy brand Boys R Us has been taken hostage in the Sonic TV studios set deep in the city.
This sort of sounds like a joke.
Already one of them has been killed. The terrorists who just want money are deemed perfect adversaries. The team teleports in and is always going planned until a helicopter gunship open fires. Jeannie, the terrorists, the hostages, and most of the X-Force die. The only survivors are Anarchist and Squirrel Girl.
This just
the latter
sounds
sends
like
the helicopter crew plunging to the deaths.
Okay. This does not sound like a good idea or a good story arc. I don't like this hero at all. It's just pointless. It's stupid. Finn, what's your next one?
I find it's funny. I think.
Okay.
It's amusing it's amusing more than anything to me.
Okay.
But okay, the last boy. I think the last guy. He's from the New Warriors. He's even more useless. I think.
Okay.
To be honest, he's called Hindsight Lad.
Ah, I know Hindsight Lad. He can see, isn't it, that he can see
he knows
what you should have done right.
He knows how everything would have turned out in hindsight.
It's so he just sounds
so
like
he
a
can
jerk.
pretty much view parallel presents that had different events in the past.
He would just be a jerk, He'd be like, you would fail at something, and he'd just come up to you and be like, "Oh, you could have done it better if you did this, man. You could have done it better."
That's what they said. He's like, oh my gosh.
Why would you want this?
Pointless. Absolutely pointless.
I do not think
but the funny thing is, he doesn't know what's going to happen in the future as well.
Okay.
He doesn't know what to do to change it in order to get the best future. He just knows what you should have done in the past.
It would just be so annoying to have him as a friend.
Oh my gosh, no. I don't even want to contemplate even knowing him or being around him.
Okay then. Well,
that's lame, that's annoying, that's weird.
Yeah. Well, that is it for our lamest superheroes and villains. I hope you enjoyed that. Me and Finn definitely had a lot of fun making our lists of the lamest superheroes and villains. So, I guess it's time for our famous segment, This Week in Comics. So, Finn, what have you been reading / watching over the last 2 weeks?
Well, I haven't read any comics, but I have been reading a book by David Eddings.
Okay.
It's called Domes of Fire. It is actually very, very good. It follows on from another one of his series, with the same characters. It is very well explored and everything. Very well thought out. David Eddings is a big fan. I'm a big fan of his. You've read his Valerian and Valerian series as well. They are very, very good, and this is on par with those.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's. I do like David Eddings. I've read some of his books before. He was a great author, definitely. Okay, well, I've been reading something this week too. Actually, I've been watching something. I have been watching the animated show Rick and Morty. Finn, have you seen Rick and Morty?
No, I haven't. What's it about?
So, Rick and Morty, it's sort of like a poke at society. I watched an episode last week, and I've just been binge watching episodes this week. So, it's not a child show. It's rated MA15 plus in Australia, and it deals with a lot of adult concepts, but it also pokes fun at society. So you've got Rick, who's a scientist who just knows everything, and then you've got Morty, who's his dumb grandson who doesn't really get anything, and Rick just sort of drags him along on adventures and makes Morty do heaps of stuff. It's really, really good.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I'd definitely say you check it out, Finn, on Netflix. The episodes are only like 20 minutes long. They're really funny and they really make you like think.
Okay, cool. Definitely check it out.
Yeah. Well, then I guess that brings us to the end of the podcast. If you guys want to find us, you can always find us on YouTube. It's, of course, Lego and Air Comics and more. You're probably on there right now. Now, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Also, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Google Plus if you really want. Okay, guys, I think that's it for our podcast. Finn, do you want to say anything?
I think that's pretty good. Anything you want to plug, Ben?
I've just plugged everything then. I guess it's it. Okay, guys, see you next time. Lego Nader out. Bye.